Hi everyone, Bindu here from Crafty Meraki. Before we start with today's projects, I want to share with you the Crafty Meraki website, and I want to show you how easy it is to find things on our website. So on our website, you click on collections, and that brings you to this page where you can see that all the brands that we carry are listed here in alphabetical order. Not only are the brands listed, but as you can see, dyes, distress inks, basically categories, ink cubes, inks, they're listed by brands as well as by categories. So say you're looking for distress inks, you can just go directly to distress inks and buy the distress inks that you're looking for. Oh, and what's this here today? We have a special collection created that has all the products that I'm going to be using in today's demo. So it's clearly called SSBE Demo Products. So you can just go to collections, find SSBE Demo Products, and you can just shop for all the products that I'm going to be using in today's demo. I will also give you the link to the collection, so it's easier to find that way as well. Be sure to check out the blog section of the website as well, because the design team shares daily inspiration in this section. In addition to the pictures of their projects, the design team also shares the process that they use to create that card. Today's project involves watercoloring with distress ink reinkers. And I'm going to be using this watercolor kit from Crafty Meraki. It's called the Crafty Meraki Special Edition Watercolor Kit. I'm sharing with you the contents of this box and this kit right now. First up is this No Line Coloring Detail ink by Ink on 3. It's called Fade Out ink. And it has 3 colors of distress ink reinkers: mustard seed, picked raspberry, and salty ocean. 3 colors of distress ink reinkers, and these are the reinkers that we're going to be using to watercolor our project today. This watercolor kit also comes with an all-to-new watercolor brush that I'm going to be using for making the card today and watercoloring the card today. The kit has these sentiment strips, pre-printed sentiment strips that come in the box. The kit also comes with 4 panels of watercolor cardstock by Canson, pre-cut watercolor cardstock from Canson, as I'm showing here. It has a textured side and a smooth side, like with any cold press watercolor paper. The kit also comes with these sequins, butterfly sequins by Studio Katya. Gorgeous butterfly sequins. Also in the kit is this Heffy Doodle stencil called Wonderfully Woven. And last but not least is the stamp set in the kit by Waffle Flower. This is called the Bouquet Builder number 7 stamp set from Waffle Flower. And I'm going to be using this stamp set today to watercolor our project. Here's another look at all the contents of the watercolor kit. All of these supplies are included in the kit, and we're going to be using this kit to make our project today. So today we're going to be making this amazing rainbow card with using just the supplies from the special edition watercolor kit. That's it. Just 3 colors, I promise. So let's dive in. Okay, so I've got my water jar here, and I've got the 3 distress inks that come in the watercolor kit, the 3 colors. And I have 2 watercolor brushes. These are bigger brushes because we're gonna cover a large area. So I'm using these 2 large brushes. I have my watercolor palette and my watercolor paper. which I'm not going to use tape. I use my Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station, use these magnets, and I'm just going to, with the help of these magnets, secure the paper down and start painting. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my palette here, and like I said, I'm going to have my distress inks in this palette. I have my mustard yellow. I have I don't really need much, but I'm just going to take a drop here. I have the Salty Ocean right here. I do already have a bunch. I don't really need more. And then I have my picked raspberry here. Believe it or not, we're going to make the rainbow with just these 3 colors. And I'm going to share quick watercolor mixing here, just for those of you who think it's very difficult. It's not. So really quick, I'll show you. I'm going to make some green here. Just to make the green, all I need is some yellow and some Salty Ocean that we had in the kit. So there you go. That's all there is to the green. And if I mix mustard seed and picked raspberry, the yellow and the pink, I'm going to get this orange. And depending on how much pink you add, your orange is going to slightly be different in color. But for the purposes of our demonstration here, I'm just going to directly put the ink on the paper. I'm not going to be mixing because sometimes when you mix the inks directly on paper, it gives you unexpected results. And I think sometimes it has its own beauty. So I am going to make the pattern, our rainbow, going across this way all the way to the top. And by the way, I'm using the watercolor cardstock that comes in the kit. And all I'm doing is I'm going to actually, one other thing I want to mention is I am using the smoother side. For watercolor paper, there's a textured side and then there's a smoother side. I somehow slightly prefer the smoother side over the textured side. So I'm just using the smoother side, and I have my 2 magnets going this way because our pattern is going to go this way. So that's all we need to do. I have my rag off here to the side, which you can't see exactly, but all we're doing here, I'm going to rinse off my brush just to make sure I don't get any color. I do still have some color here. Okay, so there's still some color there. There we go. So all I'm doing is I am taking my water and I'm just laying it down, sort of going across this way. I am putting, this is called wet on wet, by the way. All we're doing is just wetting the paper, and the water goes across this way, this way. So now that my paper is wet, I am going to bring the ink directly to the paper. So I'm taking the picked raspberry. I'm going to start with that. You see how the ink reacts with the water and we get this gorgeous texture. So taking the picked raspberry here, I'm going to bring the yellow, the mustard seed next. And you see where the overlap is, you'll start to see the colors mixing. And now we have this yellow. I'm going to go back over this with the pink a little bit just so it doesn't have a sharp line. Next, I'm going to go to the blue, the Salty ocean. And I'm going to overlap that with the yellow that we already put down. And you see how our blue already turned into green. So we're going to do that. And then next, I'm going to bring the blue again. And now you see the green and the blue mixing. And last, I'm going to bring my picked raspberry back in once again. And now you see where the pink and the blue meet. It gives you this gorgeous purple color. You see how easy that is? Just 3 colors and we made a rainbow. So one thing I want to mention here is I use 2 brushes. You can do it with 1. It just means you have to dip your brush more frequently into the water. So especially when you're switching color families. But here, what I did was I had this with the pink and I had this with the yellow and the blue. So the pink, you see how it remained pinkish down here and then it went to purple all the way up here. I'm going to make this a little bit more organic or try. So I use these 2 brushes just so I don't mix the color families. Technically, I know a lot of people who are very good watercolor artists. They have 2 different jars of waters just so they don't mix warm colors with the cool colors. I'm too lazy for that. But so here I'm going to try to just blend this a little bit. And there we go. Our watercolor rainbow background is almost ready. So again, all it takes really is just go from, you start with the pink, mix in the yellow, leave the yellow a little bit, then bring in the blue, mix with the yellow, overlap with the yellow, then you get this beautiful green. And then you come back in with the blue, leave the blue alone. And last, you mix the pink. You bring the pink back in, the picked raspberry, you bring it back in and you mix it with the blue a little bit. You overlap it to get this gorgeous purple color. Voila, our background is ready. So I let my card panel dry and I finished off the cards. I ran out of time to show you guys, but here are a bunch of cards. They're all made, in the same way. And all I did here is essentially once this rainbow panel dried out, I went back in with this gorgeous flower that comes in the stamp, which is included in the kit, by the way. This stamp set comes in the kit. All I did is I took this rose flower and I took 2 of them. These two floral images here for this card. All I did was I basically stamped those flowers, in a diagonal pattern this way, kind of going alternating between the 2 flowers, switching back and forth. I stamped them with embossing ink, and all I did was gold heat embossed these flower images. Look how gorgeous that is. So again, you saw me make the rainbow panel. All I did to finish it off was to just gold heat emboss these flowers. I added these butterfly sequins that come included in the kit. And the sentiment strip is also included in the kit. All I did was I simply cut it out and I foam mounted it on top of this card. So this card is exactly the same. Once you get carried away, you saw how easy it was to make that panel. So when I start making these panels, I make a bunch of them at a time and I have them ready in my stash just so that when I'm in a time crunch, I just pull out one of these backgrounds and I quickly finish up my cards and then we're good to go. So all I did was, again, it's the same thing. But one thing I want to point out here is you see how they're both made exactly the same way, but you see how they're different. The color is a little bit different. I had a lot more water on this card. So you see how there's the water that is organically moving. There's lots of movement in this card. There's lots of colors going on here. The green is very different. So this is what I mean by you never know what you're going to get when you put ink directly on the paper. And that's what I did here. So that's why they look very different. But the process is exactly the same. And all I did really to finish it off was to gold heat emboss these flower images and finished off with the sentiment strip that comes in the kit. This one is exactly the same. There's no difference at all in how the card is made. All I did different is I added some gold watercolor splatters on this card after I was done heat embossing. That's all there is different to this card. So again, like I said, so many different possibilities with this watercolor kit. All you need, again, can you believe it that we only use these 3 inks? All you need is exactly these 3 inks. The watercolor paper is already included in the kit. The stamp set is included. All you need is some time, and there you go. You have a bunch of cards. I also want to share with you some very, very different and unique cards that my design team and I made with this watercolor kit. I'm going to share those with you here in a second, but take a look at the website, take a look at the watercolor kit on the craftymeraki.com website, and you will see just with this one kit, just with these 3 inks, there are, I want to say, probably 30 to 40 cards. None of them look the same. They all look very, very, very different. I think I myself must have made about 10 to 15 different kinds of cards with this one kit. And I still have some more ideas. I just haven't had the time to work on them yet. So check out the website. You will see a lot of inspiration there. You will also see, again, I did another tutorial, I think it was a month ago or something, on SSBE, where I showed you negative watercoloring technique using this watercolor kit. So lots of fun, lots of ideas, lots of inspiration. Definitely do give it a try. Here are some more cards that the design team and I made using the special edition watercolor kit. You can see it's 1 kit, 1 stamp, 3 colors, but incredibly amazing number of possibilities. You can see the variety here. I mean, they all look so different from each other. Some of these cards that you're seeing here are simply masked off, put paint down in geometrical shapes. Just put some circles down, mask off squares, and put some color down. Like I said, the possibilities are endless with this just one kit. Also, some of these examples you see here are not exactly cards. One of our design team members had made a journal page, or journal book actually, and she used the one stamp set to make the entire journal. And I'll show you a glimpse of it here. There you go, that's the one. So it's all bound together. It's a book, and it has different kinds of pages using just that one stamp set from the kit. Here's some more watercoloring cards that I made, and I'll show you a close-up of this amazing, amazing card. Again, it's a slimline card, but made with that one stamp set and the 3 distress inks that come with the kit. Same with this one. Same stamp set. You just can hardly recognize that it's the same stamp set and it's the same kit. Okay, so for this show special today, you don't need to use a coupon. All you have to do is buy, and the U die from Pink Fresh Studio will get automatically added to your order. I will see you all again soon with another project. Until then, stay happy, stay crafty. Bye!